All right, if you don't know by now, Chicago artist G Herbo is about to do some time, in prison for a scheme that he was involved in. When he put this video out maybe a couple of weeks ago, talking about how funny the industry really is and how he was pretty much taken advantage of by unscrupulous managers and bloodsuckers in the music industry. I'm gonna play what he said and then stick around on the other side to hear my thoughts on all of this. Hey, as always, hit the thumbs up button and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Here's G Herbo.
Yo, it's Big Swerve, man. Hey, everybody that know me, y'all know I don't bring my problems to the internet personal or nothing pertaining to my business at all, but this shit been like affecting my personal day-to-day life. So everybody that know me, y'all know I'm independent. I'm signed to Machine. I've been signed to Machine since I was 16 years old, so I was a minor. My parents had to sign me over, you know what I'm saying? We've been family, been independent, made history. Boom. So, 16, first and foremost, I signed my publishing away for perpetually for 15 grand. But they claim he ain't know business. I was young anyway, so bottom line, I got to the bottom of it, of course. We got that back. Been amended that contract so many times. Long story short, over the years, been independent, worked with other labels, Sony, Red, Epic. Now we in Republic System. I never had a direct deal with the label. It's always been with him, with Machine. So over the years, when we started generating money, probably this was we was on the Sony system, like 19. Pull me to the side, like, bro, let me run your business for you. I wasn't really business savvy, and this is somebody I trust with my life, like my brother, like a father figure. Let me run your business for you, bro. All right. So from then on, he's running my business, paying my bills, making sure everything paid, staff, everything all ran through him. I really was only playing on my ancillary bread, you feel me? Just having motion on the ancillary, not the residual. I always control the residual. Long story short, 12 years later, I've been hearing rumors that I owe this money, right? That I owe him money. So, and I'm not just sweeping it on the rug. So, long story short, I go get up with him. I'm like, hey, bro, what's up with these numbers? Look at the numbers, one right. And started like just thinking. So, recently, we had a meeting. Me, him, Mick, my old manager. Big Bro was in the room. Coffee was in the room. Big Bro was in the room. His brother was in the room, OB. And my brother Mason was in the room. So we just having a conversation amongst us because I wanted witnesses there. So I talked to him, looking in the eye, bro, this ain't right. You ain't right. You always control my business, right? You always control the money, right? Boom. So it's like, long story short, I'm like, man, bro, it ain't working. You always told me if it didn't work, you was going to let me out of the contract. So boom, it ain't work. I come to him, man, let me out of the contract, sign me out. Sign me out, 3 copies. But thing is, I was about to really let him manipulate me because he's good at this, to leave out without nothing and just go back and forth between my lawyer and his lawyer, which we are still doing anyways. I'm like, nah, I already had something drafted. I'm like, you have to sign this in good faith. So after we leave the meeting, everybody outside, Mick, Coffee, and Mason still outside. I'm just thinking I'm outside with him. I'm talking. I'm like, nah, bro, he got to sign what I have right here. I'm in my head saying this, like, because I know him. Go back in the room, his brother having the first conversation. I said, brother, for me, you got to sign this out of good faith. For me. And we'll figure it out through the lawyers, of course, Of course he did it. Signed 3 copies. Boom. Shake hands after everything. Leave. So now, after we finna do the audits and everything, because he know he did bad. It's a long video. It's going to almost 4 minutes. I'm about to sum it up. So I've been getting these calls from like my criminal attorney in Boston. My criminal lawyer been calling me, which he paid. I paid almost a million on this case. And he paid because he paid my bills. My lawyer called me because they know each other. He's like, man, could you call her? He was using like a tactic with Esther. He's saying I made him sign his contract under duress, and he's trying to like get me arrested for it. And I'm like, he got me blocked. My lawyer like, can you call him? I try to call him on through. I'm like, can you call him? Like, you know what I'm saying? Got me blocked. But he's using these tactics, these manipulative tactics to take advantage. So I'm just coming here to say, like, you can't win, And all artists, young artists, You gotta stand your ground, man, with what's right. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm blessed to be able to do this. You know what I mean? Have the resources to be able to still provide for myself, my family, go to war in this way, the right way, the legal way, the righteous way, and win. And I just want to look in your eyes and tell you, you can't beat me. You can't.
Let's break this thing down real quick because we've done hundreds of interviews, and some of the interviews that we've done, we talked to movie stars, all different types of celebrities, but in particular artists. They all pretty much have the same story. I would probably say like 70% of them that came across the platform when we actually came into that part of the conversation, they always talk about being lack of a better word, screwed out of a deal somewhere. Usually the first deal, but somewhere during their time, somebody takes advantage of them. Somebody, puts them in a situation that they end up getting the S end of the stick, right? And my thing is like, it sucks because almost in a way when you hear and you talk to some of these people, they kind of, even some of the execs, they kind of say, well, look, this is the way the business structure is kind of set up. It's almost like, okay, when you're buying a house, you think you're going to be in that house for 30 years. The bank knows that a good portion of people, I don't know the percentage, but a high percentage is not going to end up paying that house off. You're either going to lose it through foreclosure, you're going to sell the home, but I will go out on a limb and say a lot of people are losing their homes to a foreclosure. Or even an even a better example would be like, you know, you getting a payday loan or a loan in your car, those auto, where you give them your title up and the interest rate is like 8,000%, and they give you $1,500, but you got to pay them $3,300 back, and they understand that you're never going to end up getting that back. And if you do, you know, good, because they done made all this interest off you, because if you're borrowing that money, you're probably not making that money, and that's kind of how things are set up. Same thing with the music industry, right? It's so many different ways to make money that I don't think the artist is even aware of the ancillary outside of just the music, the merchandise, the shows, your streams, you know, uh, um, interviews. Now, put that into a category. It's so much different ways that an artist can make money that I also understand too. On the side of the exec side, the exec is like, look, I got the bankroll. I'm the one that's putting you, making it possible for you to even be seen. I'm making it possible for so and so to happen. So, what needs to happen, in my opinion, is it needs to be some type of a buyout clause, an opt out clause, or a restructuring clause. So, at a point in time, whether it's 3 years, 2 years, or whatever you put in the clause, it's like, all right, a renegotiation has to take place. Let's say if you went into a deal, you was getting 30% in the record. Let's say, for example, you was getting 30% and the record company was getting 70%, right? All right, now, you done made $100 million. So, all right, look, I need more of the profit. As a matter of fact, can I buy myself out of this deal so I can start recouping 100% of the profit? Now, let's talk about the independent as opposed to the label, because I think independent, and sometimes I think the label gets a bad rap, and understandably why. But sometimes, depending on how your deal is structured, right, being with a label could also be beneficial. I will never say it's better than being independent, but it could probably bring you more money, than being independent a lot of times. But if you're a certain type of personality, a go-getter, somebody who can organize things yourself, you are able to do the independent route. It just means a little bit more work on your behalf, a little bit more bookkeeping. You kind of structure everything down yourself, as opposed to you just being an artist, you going in, you getting a deal, and letting everybody handle stuff. Nah, now you're the artist. Now you got to hire out and say, okay, you're my manager, you're my publicist, you're my producer, you're this, you're that, you're this, security, whatever. This is what you're going to be paid, as opposed to the label facilitating all of that for you. And a lot of time, not even showing you the numbers. We've seen that with Meek Mill. They weren't even showing him the numbers, according to him, of what he was really making. So he had no idea what type of revenue that he was generating, right? So that's the good thing about when it comes to independent. Everything is coming through you. Everything is coming through your business entity first. So you got an opportunity to see. You got guys like Russ. A lot of indie people. He making $300,000 a week off of just streams, right? Off of just streams. So I know I said a lot. I know Herbo said a lot, but a lot could be learned from the situation. Um, you know, just be smart going into these contracts. Get an attorney. That's also be a part of your team. A great accountant, a great tax person, a great accountant, and a great attorney. And I'm not saying that they have to be on retainer, but have somebody that that you could take a contract to and pay them a couple $100 look at. Have an accountant that that you could slide them something and say, look, all right, look, I'm getting into this deal. What is it? How does this, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? What do you think about that? I wish I would have had that stuff early on. Now I do. Now I do. But I wish I would have had it early on. And you also have to screen those individuals. Because sometimes, you'll get bad accountants. You'll get bad attorneys. Bad managers. So it's all a learning game. And G Herbo looked like he learned. And hopefully, he'll come out on the other end, man. But this is your brother Ogami Hip Hop News Uncensored. Hey, if you enjoyed the video, hit the thumbs up button. Make sure you share the video and subscribe to Hip Hop News Uncensored. I appreciate y'all, man. Peace.